Welcome to Dizzarian Plays MMOs. Happy New Year. I wanted to take a little different approach on this video here and talk about last year and the videos that I made, the games that I'm playing, what I feel about each one of them, and give you kind of an idea of what's coming up in 2017. First off, I want to thank you guys so much. The viewers of my channel here you guys are just amazing. I'm up over 600 subscribers, which I didn't really expect to ever get. We've had over 100,000 views on these videos, and this year alone, you guys have watched almost 6,000 hours of video. That is incredible. My gosh, I'm so flattered that you guys are watching my stuff and enjoying it and commenting. I love you guys. You are terrific. So the first thing I wanted to do here was talk about each of the MMOs that I'm currently or that I did play throughout the year here on the channel and give you an opinion of each one on what I thought about them. And I'm going to go ahead and rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite. I know a lot of you have asked recently, what is my favorite MMO that I'm playing? Which one would I suggest? And there's been a lot of questions about different MMOs. And I think I'm going to do more videos kind of like this, describing certain things. So if you like this, make sure you do leave a comment and leave any likes. But for my list here is only going to be those videos that I actually played on this channel. So there are other MMOs that I played. Sometimes I play Lotro, and sometimes I've even jumped into WoW. There's been other things that I haven't covered in the videos, but I don't want to cover them on this list. This is only going to be those videos that you can actually go back and check out on my channel. So let's start from my least favorite video, or my least favorite MMO. If you guys know anything about me, you know which one this is. It's going to be Blade and Soul. Blade and Soul came out in January, and boy, I didn't like it. The translation was terrible, and it just, the weird things going on in that game just really threw me off. I just could not get past it. If you check out the very last video of that, you'll see me doing some weird things, and it's just this is just so bad. It just hurt my soul to play it. So I do not play Blade and Soul. I didn't make it very far into the game, so it's definitely on my least favorite, although everybody else seems to like it. It's one of my most popular videos on the channel here is of me playing Blade and Soul. So, I apologize to a lot of the viewers here that I didn't enjoy that, but, it's just not my style. Next up, we have Star Trek Online. I know a lot of you are going to be very surprised to see this toward the bottom of my list. It's because there's a lot of great MMOs that I do enjoy to play, for one thing. But for another, I have a love-hate relationship with this game. I love the storylines. I love Star Trek. I love seeing so many things. I love hearing Leonard Nimoy. But then when it actually comes to the actual gameplay, like the actual, I'm doing something, I'm completing a quest and everything else, it's just it's so clunky. It's just so annoying to play at times. And I know I haven't gotten far enough in. A lot of people say the gameplay opens up the further you get into it. It's not grabbing me, and I'm a little disappointed that it hasn't. If you love Star Trek, I understand. I mean, like I said, I love this game for the atmosphere and for it being Star Trek, but it's not getting me. And I'm honestly not for sure how much more of these videos I'm going to make on Star Trek Online, because there's new videos, there's going to be new games that come out, and it's not doing it for me. But if you like it, make sure you keep watching. I probably will play a couple of more times, so make sure you like and comment on those videos and help me out or whatever it is, and maybe I'll keep doing it, but it's pretty low on my list right now. Next on my list is Guild Wars 2. I tried to start up a series on Guild Wars 2, and it was also kind of hit and miss. While I really like Guild Wars 2, and I know a lot of people don't like Guild Wars 2, but I do. I think there's a lot of great mechanics in this game. The gameplay is very fluid and everything else, and I even bought Heart of Thrones to where I could jump into it, and I covered it a little bit on this channel, I think. So there was a lot of things in it that I really did like, but it's just not, I don't know. I don't think it makes for good YouTube videos. I don't think, unless you're doing the actual PvP content, I'm not for sure it's a great series for this channel where I like to cover storylines, I like to cover questing and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't quite work for that, but I still think it's a really good game. I think if you're rather new to MMOs and you want to see what's going on, I think I think Guild Wars 2 is a really good start for a lot of people who've never really had MMO experience. There's other games on here that I feel they need to try as well. And of course, WoW is the de facto. But I think Guild Wars 2 is a really good entry point for a lot of people. Next up, I have WildStar. And WildStar is just such an unfortunate story. Like, it just seems like it's been up and down, and like people like it, but then they don't play it. And it's been on free to play, which is where I started my series. I started out blowing the free to play series, and I really like the game. I don't. Throughout this list, and I'm going to have to do a video about action set MMOs versus like the old standard MMOs where it's like very specific skills. I'm not a big action set fan. So if it has a limited action set where you only have certain skills and it's like very action oriented, I'm not a huge fan of that. I can work with it, and I enjoy WildStar a lot. Every time I get in it, I enjoy it. The graphics are great. The stories are fun. Everything about the game is really fun. I don't know why it doesn't capture more of my time, but it just doesn't. And that seems to be the way it is with everybody. It's just like there's just something not quite right, but it's still a great game. And if you love action set MMOs, and if you love the cartoony feel and you love the sci-fi feel, man, this game is it. You should definitely play WildStar. No matter what, you should check out WildStar. It's free to play. Go check it out. It's a great game. But I'm probably not going to cover a lot more of it on this channel. Again, I've got other things I need to do, but I think I will be jumping back in from time to time just to get my feel of it, because I do enjoy MMOs so much, and WildStar is just a perfect fit. I hope it's always around because it's just so good. Next up is Black Desert Online, and I kind of thought it would be lower on my list, but I think it's right in the middle of my list. It wasn't great to me, but it wasn't really bad either. It had the translation problems like Blade and Soul did, but it wasn't just overwhelmingly bad. The combat was so much fun. It was a limited action set as well, but the combat in this was there's nobody does combat better right now in MMO than Black Desert Online. It is so fun. The combat is so fun, and which is good because it's kind of a grindy game, like where you have to you're going to be killing a lot, so the combat does need to be really fun, and it is. It's had a lot of problems. There was things that going on with their cash shop and everything else, but I kind of think if you're not too concerned about the end game, especially a lot of people on this channel, right? I'm a filthy casual. I know I'm a filthy casual. I like the storylines. I like just taking my time and doing things. I think if you're that type of player and you're not too concerned about what's going on the end game and the way people whine and everything else, and you can just focus on you having fun and everything else, I think there's a lot of gameplay in Black Desert Online that is very worthwhile checking out. In fact, I've kind of want to get back into it, check out some of the new classes that they put in, and I might even do that. I expected a lot more out of this game. I just expected a lot more out of it. I was expecting a lot more open world stuff than we got in it. It's probably the reason it didn't hit me, and then I just had some problems with the translations. That always gets me. But it's not bad, and I don't think the hate that it's currently getting is deserved. I think it's good, and you need to check it out. Just if you're aiming for the end game, don't check it out. Like, if you're one of these people who has to be the best of this game, you will never be the best of this game. It just isn't going to happen with the time that you have. I guarantee it. So just keep that in mind. If you're playing casually, it's fine. If you want in-game stuff, you might want to pass. Next up, it's an oldie, one of my standards, one of my favorites of all time, EverQuest 2. And this may be one that you thought was going to be much higher on my list. And it could be. Honestly, we're now getting into the top four here, and they're kind of interchangeable on my list anyway. So don't think that this position is really what it is. But, it is an older game. I have a year-long subscription to it already. There's no way I'm ever stopping playing EverQuest 2. It is my baseline for MMOs. Like, it's my standard MMO. That's where I live. and I think it's a great game. If you are willing to get past some of the older graphics, because it is getting long in the tooth now. But if you can get past that, there is so much content in EverQuest 2, you will never, ever get through it. There's just too much. And if you like rating, I mean, all of it is there. It has systems where you can level down to play old content. If you skip some, there is just too much to do in EverQuest 2. Great lore. There's just hardly anything to fault this game for. It is so good, and you really should play it. If you haven't, check out my videos. I have hundreds, almost 100 videos of EverQuest 2, so there's ton. You can check it out yourself and see how much I enjoy it. It's just really good. Check it out. Next up is The Secret World. When I started the Secret World series on this channel, I didn't expect me to play as much of it as I did. Because when it first came out, I didn't play that much. I didn't get as far as I am in this current series. And it wasn't because I didn't like it. I think it was just it just didn't grab me at the time. But after doing this series, after reading all of the lore, following the storylines, actually listening, actually figuring everything out, my gosh, there's nothing like it. The storylines in this game are better than most single-player games. And you get it like every time you play, you're getting into a new storyline that you would never expected was going to be as good as it is. Everyone should be playing The Secret World. I'm not going to say that it's going to be the world that you live in all the time for MMO players, but you should always have it installed, and you should always go in when you need to take a break, relax, maybe get a little fright, and check out a really cool storyline, because it's always there, and my gosh, it is so good. I'm going to continue doing these videos because I love doing them so much. There's just no way I'm stopping doing the Secret World videos. Next up, I have Elder Scrolls Online. And this is another one that's kind of taken me by surprise this year. I would say the main reason that it's higher on my list than EverQuest 2 and the Secret World right now is because they put in the one Tamriel patch. When they did that, it kind of made it feel more like it should have from the beginning, where you could play with everybody and play anywhere you wanted, right? Which is very typical of the Elder Scrolls games. So it just made it feel more Elder Scrolls-ish, if that's a word. And to me, it's fresh and new. It's got life. I mean, everybody's in it, and it's just really going good. My complaint about Elder Scrolls Online is, again, because it's a limited action set MMO, which I don't care for as much. But it's really good. If you haven't checked it out since the one Tamriel patch, get in there and check it out. You can go anywhere and play any content in the game. I currently have a subscription to this, and I'm going to keep it around for a while. I'm really enjoying it, and all of the storylines are great. And now that you can check out anything, go anywhere, it's even better. And I'm not suggesting that should be done for every MMO, because I don't actually agree with that. But for Elder Scrolls Online, it works, and it should be done. So kudos to them. Great job. So my number one game of this year that I really couldn't get enough of was Final Fantasy XIV. I played this game on off camera probably as much as I did on camera. It's just the world I want to be in. I'm not a huge anime fan. I'm not a huge fan of the Japanese style of games, and just Final Fantasy doesn't necessarily do it for me. But my gosh, storylines are terrific, and this world is just so rich to me. Like, it's just everything an MMO should be. It's got a standard action set, so you're actually choosing skills. The combat's a little slower paced. I know that picks up as you go. As you get more and more skills, you're going to have more and more that you have to choose from and actually do, but it's, to me, like, it's the right pace, and to me, it's everything an MMO should be. There's hardly anything I can fault this game for. It is, to me, almost a perfect MMO. And I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but those that play it and have played it long into it, they all agree. I've had several friends I talked into playing Final Fantasy XIV, and they now consider it the same way, that it is the best, that's their favorite. It's so good, and that's one reason I've got it playing in the background here, because it is. You definitely should be checking it out. I know it costs. I know it has a subscription, which is also an old school thing, but it's worth it. It's so good, and if you dig in and you just read everything, really read everything. I mean, that's part of the reason I started the series that I did, where I could actually read it, because I know a lot of people just click, go through, and I understand that. I do that too. But there's just so good that this is so good that you really should be reading it, and you'll just get so much more out of it. Okay, so that was my list for 2016. Those were the games I played this year and the rank that I put them in, with Final Fantasy XIV being the top. I know there's other MMOs out there, and there's tons I didn't cover. There's Terra and WoW and Lotro and Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I know. Trust me, I love MMOs. I've played them all. I've, even some of the ones I didn't mention here, I've played them, or at least fired them up and looked at them. It doesn't mean I'm not going to cover them. I could very well cover them in the future. I would love to do Lotro. It's one of my favorite games of all time as well. But I just don't know how much interest there is in that. So if you want to see videos, make sure you're talking to me. Make sure you're commenting on the videos. Jump on my Discord, talk to me there, and let me know what kind of videos you would like to see, what kind of games you think I should be playing. You can tell me to stop playing Overwatch and go into something else. And just jump on and talk. I love talking to you guys. You guys are what make this great. So coming up in 2017, let's talk just a tiny bit about what's coming up. As I mentioned, I think I want to do more of these type of videos where I give you my opinions on certain things. I would like to talk more about action set MMOs and standard action MMOs. Like, I want to do kind of a comparison on that and what that actually means and how the industry is changing. There's a lot more just MMO type informational videos that I would like to do. So if you've got ideas for those type of videos, let me know, and I'll try to come up with something to do on those. I'm not going to stop doing these series either. A lot of the ones that I covered in 2016, I'm going to continue on in the new year. As well as there are some new MMOs coming out this year. I'm not for sure any of them are going to be any good. You'd never know. The ones that are kind of high on my list that I'm concerned about, or that I'm going to play almost instantly, is definitely going to be Dark and Light. I used to play it when it came out a long time ago, and I was not impressed. I'm still very skeptical about this game. But I want to give it a chance, and hopefully it is terrific. I'm praying. I hope it is. I hope it is just wonderful. I have my doubts. It's supposed to be out early next year or early this year, and we'll see. Another one, two of them that kind of are, to me, I couldn't tell them apart if I tried, are Revelation Online and Bless Online. To me, these look like the same MMO to me. I know they're not, but you know what I mean. It's just like, I haven't been following them real close. They look like kind of like Black Desert Online. They got all that same feel, those Korean type MMOs. So I don't know how those are going to play out. I'm looking at them, hoping they're terrific. I know a lot of people are very excited for Revelation Online and Bless Online. So we're going to see which one kind of wins out, because I have a feeling they're going to come out almost identically at the same time, and then they're going to be competing against each other, and one's going to either win out, or they're both going to fade out and only be played by a certain audience. The final two that I'm really interested in are Chronicles of Valeria, which is where your characters age and die. It looks like a very deep and kind of old school MMO. So there's a lot of cool things in that I'm very interested in, but I'm not getting my hopes up for. And the next one is Crowfall. I don't know that it's going to come out this year. I kind of, just with the way the developers work, I kind of hope that it doesn't, because I want them to make sure it's perfect the way that it is. But I think there's just going to be some really good stuff in Crowfall, so I'm looking forward to it. I've already, bought a Founders Pack on it and everything else, so got a lot riding on that. So I think that's going to cover it. If you would like to see something in 2017, make sure you leave that comment. Make sure you hit a like. And if you haven't yet, you definitely need to be subscribed. I've got videos coming out almost every single day of the week. And if you love MMOs the way I love MMOs, then this is the place for you. So, till next time, bye.